What's going on, everyone? So one of the big acquisitions that the Lakers had this offseason was Christian Wood. There's a lot of talk, a lot of speculation of like, where's Wood going to go, right? Talking about a 17-8 guy that has a ton of versatility, 3-level scorer for a big man. He can rebound the basketball a little bit, play the 4, play the 5. Got good size, good length. He's not really a 5, but he could play it in spots. He was a guy that was perceived to be that guy that could help elevate the Lakers. It was like, man, Lakers just got an absolute steal, a guy that is on a vet minimum deal that should be on probably a $15 million a year deal, right? He's been excellent and many facets. Not a great defensive guy, but he can hold his own in spots. He's just not Anthony Davis. And you look at like Dallas and it's like, well, they wanted him to be Anthony Davis and it's just not who he is. And he was still, before Kyrie, their second best player. So there was a lot of optimism. And just when the Lakers signed Christian Wood, it was like, no way. This is such low risk, high reward type play. This guy's a guy that's going to come in. You could play alongside AD. You could play and fill in the moments with AD. If AD has a night where he needs to sit out, he can step in and just provide at least some of the scoring load, kind of give you like that Thomas Bryant type role, right? This would be great for the Lakers. And it just hasn't turned out that way. Now, Christian Wood has completely fallen out of the rotation. And even when he does play, he's mostly playing like either extremely limited minutes or he's playing in like garbage time. Like, he's played in 25 games this year, but he hasn't really played in 25 games this year. He's probably played in like half of those because, again, most of the time he's just playing like 4 or 5 minutes and then, or playing garbage time, which is terrible. And you look at him thus far this season and the games that he's played significant minutes, he's averaging 19 minutes per game. He's shooting 46% from the field. He's shooting 27.9% from three-point range, which is abysmal, 28% from three. He is shooting 61% from two-point range, which is really good. He has an EFG of 52.6, and he is averaging 7 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and we'll call it half a steal. And he's doing that in 19 minutes in the games that he has played. This is a guy who also sat for 3 or 4 games and like didn't play, came in, gave you like 13 and 6, then sat for another like 3 games, and then came in and gave you 17 and 8. And this guy still can't see the floor. And I understand his stats don't seem great, but there's a couple things into this, right? One, this was a guy that was looked at as and he can hit the 3 rather than he's a 3-point shooter and he can do other things around the rim. And the Lakers, Darvin Ham, this is one of my problems with Darvin Ham. The utilization of guys like Christian Wood and Rui Hachimura has been terrible. Jackson Hayes has gotten the favorable rotation minutes over Christian Wood, and I understand he's an athletic, high-energy type center. He's bigger than Christian Wood, height-wise, right? And it's like, okay, I can understand that. Jackson Hayes should not be playing over Christian Wood. Christian Wood, again, hasn't been great for the Lakers, but even on his bad nights, he's been better than Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes has had a couple moments here and there, don't get me wrong, but he can't rebound. He's lost out there on the court. Again, he's a project center. I was talking about how he was a project center when we signed him. I was excited for the signing because of long term. Like, go back and look at all the old videos. I talk about how, hey, man, he could make an impact this year. He would be nice in the pick and roll. He's actually been one of the better pick and roll defensive bigs, right? But this is a guy that is a project center that's going to take a lot of work that we could hopefully see him maybe earn and be a starting or quality backup guy in a couple years, right? At some point. But this year, I just looked at him as a spot guy that you put in, maybe 5 minutes a game, 5 to 10 minutes a game, and you're just having him high energy, stuff like that. And that was before we got Christian Wood and we even knew we had a chance to sign Christian Wood. As soon as we got Christian Wood, it was like, okay, Jackson Hayes, he's the odd man out, right? Like, Christian Wood has been a better rebounder, right? He's the better scorer. He's more versatile. The problem is that they don't run Christian. They're running Christian Wood like he's a 3-and-D wing, and he's not. Christian Wood is a guy that you could dump the ball down to, and he could go to work and go generate a bucket. You can run some pick and rolls with. You can run some pick and pops with. The offense is stagnant. You can dump the ball down to him, and he can go to work and just go get you a bucket. That's his game. Oh, and he can hit the occasional three at an efficient clip. His game is not stand at the top of the key and shoot 5 threes a game. This is a guy that was only supposed to be shooting 2 or 3 threes a game. That's what he was supposed to be. Right? Like, this was never supposed to be he shoots, most of his shots are coming from 3-point range. Like, literally, he's averaging 5.4 field goal attempts per game, and 60% of them are from 3. Like, that's not his game, right? And he's not even getting enough to get in a rhythm, and he's not getting consistent minutes to where he can get in a rhythm, right? Like, if you were playing him and consistently giving him, say, 15 minutes a game, some minutes at the 4, some minutes at the 5, right? And he was consistently getting 15 minutes a game, maybe he would shoot the 3 ball better. This is the lowest he has shot his 3-point shot since he was with the Pelicans in 2018 and 2019, and where he shot 28.6% on 2.6 attempts. But you look at all the other years, and he shot anywhere from 4 to 5 attempts, and he was 38 to 39% because he has an opportunity to get in a rhythm. But he also was shooting, 12 to 15 attempts per game. And I'm not saying he's going to get 12 to 15% attempts per game on a regular basis with the Lakers, but at least give him some level of consistency. And he shouldn't be solely just taking threes. It should be him on the block, establishing, getting position, you feed him the ball, you let him create contact, you let him get to the basket. He's a mismatch for most defensive bigs, and you put him in position to have success. Darvin Ham and the Lakers have not put him in position to have success. He's also taken the fewest free throw attempts per game that he's taken since 2018 and 2019 with the Milwaukee Bucks. That was the last time he was also with Darvin Ham, and that was before he was sent to the Pelicans. And he went to the Pelicans and averaged 5 free throw attempts per game. Right? Outside of that, he's averaged basically 5 attempts per game and shot around like 60 to 70%. He's not a great free throw shooter, but my point is that that's because most of those teams put him in position to have success, which is why when you look at his scoring totals, he was anywhere from 16 to 20 points per game. He had that year with Houston where he gave you 21. And that's because they were utilizing him properly. A guy that has the versatility to hit the mid-range, to score in the basket, right? He's a guy that if you funnel defensively to him, he can be a deterrent and block the occasional shot. He's not Anthony Davis. He's not going to be this great elite defensive guy, but he's a guy that can make some level of impact on the defense side of the ball if put in the proper defensive schemes. None of that has happened. None of it. Christian Wood hasn't gotten any of it. And now he's completely fallen out of the rotation, and it doesn't make sense to me. There's no way he's worse than Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes has been terrible. Terrible. I mean, literally unplayable in spots. And he's still getting more consistent minutes over Christian Wood. Darvin Ham would rather go small than give Christian Wood consistent minutes. Christian Wood played 4 minutes against the Timberwolves. How are you supposed to get any type of rhythm, any type of just stability when you're playing 4 minutes a game? You had Jackson Hayes play 11 minutes. And in 11 minutes, he got 3 rebounds and 3 points with 1 assist, which isn't terrible for 11 minutes. But again, he's so lost out there. He gets very foul happy, right? Because he has no defensive discipline. Right? It's just, and our biggest issue has been offense. Like, again, we're 7th in defense. We're 26th in offense. And for whatever reason, it's like, well, let's not play the guy that gives you some level of offense. And again, Jackson Hayes in 11 minutes got 2 personal fouls in 11 minutes. Because he's not disciplined. He doesn't have the defensive discipline. Jackson Hayes was supposed to be a project center. He wasn't supposed to be your main backup. He was supposed to be a guy that you play in spots, right? It was looking like he was going to be the main backup. But then when we got Christian Wood, it was like, okay, that makes sense. That's why the Lakers didn't sign another center, because they believed that they were getting Christian Wood. And then they got Christian Wood, and they have yet to use him. And it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why Christian Wood has completely fallen out of the rotation entirely. I'm not saying you have to play the guy 30 minutes a game. I'm not even saying you have to play the guy 25 minutes a game or 20 minutes. But can he get somewhere? He should be playing around 15 to maybe 18 minutes. And if you want to play Jackson Hayes in spots, you play Jackson Hayes in spots. Right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just a thought. I don't know this, but maybe they're trying to get some of these other guys looks out there on the court. If the Lakers are planning to make a trade, right, they're probably going to play Christian Wood. Maybe Darvin Ham has told Wood, like, hey, just be patient. I know it's frustrating, but we're going to make a move. We're going to make a deal. And then you're going to get, like, Rui's minutes and stuff. So then you're going to be playing probably 20 minutes a game, 15 to 20 minutes a game. Maybe that's what it is. And so he's just kind of like, hey, just stay patient, right? Just keep doing what you're doing, right? I don't know. But the whole point of getting Christian Wood was to play him because he was a guy that could make an impact for the Lakers. But how is he supposed to make an impact for the Lakers when he doesn't get any consistency? How is he supposed to be a guy that has any level of impact if he's getting 4 minutes a game? Like, how are you supposed to do anything in 4 minutes? Anything. And especially on top of that, you're not being utilized correctly. So not only are you not getting consistency minute-wise, but you're also not being used in the correct way. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you feel the same way I do? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below.